What's going on, YouTube family? Today is Monday, October 7th, 2024. Definitely welcome back to the channel. Today's video is not going to be some of the normal things that you see on this channel where I'm reviewing a product or giving some advice or an opinion on some product that I have or have heard anything about. Today is definitely a lot more important. This is about the support and relief efforts to the North Carolina residents of Western North Carolina. Just this past Saturday, my wife and I took off, did a 10-hour turnaround, went to Spruce Pine, North Carolina. Have a couple friends there. They have been back and forth sharing the devastation from Hurricane Helene. The original plan was to connect with a disaster recovery company to go up, provide relief and support with fueling generators to try and restore power, help those that were boots on the ground, get the things that they needed. Logistics and everything was really scattered, so we switched gears. My wife came up with an idea and said, let's just do what we normally do and jump in and help out. So we sent a message out. She posted something on our neighborhood Facebook page that our plan was to head up on Saturday and take as much stuff as we possibly could in our pickup. We got a lot of feedback, a lot of help. The request was water, blankets, socks, all the things that honestly we take for granted every day and probably have tons of. So we did just that. Our neighbors reached out, they gave, they contributed. If it wasn't with actual supplies, it was monetary donations. We went to the store 2 or 3 times and just racked up, loaded our truck up, headed out a little after 5 o'clock Saturday morning, headed to Spruce Pine, North Carolina. And I have to say, the media, what we see on the news, even on social media, doesn't do it justice. It's probably one of the most humbling things that I can say that I've witnessed in my 51 years. Again, we got to Spruce Pine. Of course, traffic. We made it in safely. We were able to go to a drop-off location, L&L Furniture and Appliance. Shout out to you all for coordinating that effort. We pulled in. It's on Oak Avenue in Spruce Pine. It was just a complete sidewalk full of supplies. We got connected with an individual who was trying to orchestrate drop-off and pickup. We got curbside, began to offload our stuff. And I mean, people came from everywhere to help, as well as the people who were showing up in need. It was, again, the beginning of a real eye-opener. We saw down trees, we saw the devastation, some devastation of the effect of the storm as we were approaching the area. But once we got in the area and you see the standing mud, you see the silt, you see the devastation, you see the face of the people who have been affected. It's life-changing. If there was ever something that anyone needed to be a part of to find humility, that was it. Again, we offloaded everything that we had taken up. We wanted to volunteer and help. I've made this statement a couple times. I was happily disappointed. And in saying that, I mean, we weren't in a position to volunteer because there were so many people lined up waiting to help out, to volunteer, to register, to be given specific destinations to show up and volunteer. So for that part, we were super grateful to see that type of effort being put into helping all the areas that have been affected. So we left Spruce Pine. We decided to go to a neighboring city, neighboring town, which was Burnsville, North Carolina. Equally as devastated. Businesses, homes. I mean, it was truly a disaster area. I will say, once again, we saw the efforts of so many people putting forth the best foot forward. And I will definitely like to highlight, there was no race, there's no political energy, there was none of that. It was all about helping those that are in need. Makes you wonder, how come we can't be this way on a regular basis? But that's for another conversation. Burnsville, North Carolina needs your help. We left from Burnsville. We did have an opportunity to speak with some locals, and we asked what were the dire needs in that particular area. They're still doing search and recovery. They are definitely looking for people that are still unaccounted for, just as they are in Spruce Pine. And every conversation led back to just pray for us. They appreciated what we did for as little as it was for us to load up a pickup truck, because there were people coming in with trailers and tractor trailers and box trucks, and everything that was possible to load something on or in was coming to those areas. With all of that being said, we saw a lot of things that have been miscommunicated via social media. I'm only speaking on what we saw factually on Saturday. FEMA, they are on the ground. They are in all areas that we travel through. They have a relief effort set up at the Roses in Burnsville, North Carolina. Huge parking lot, full of supplies, tons of people volunteering. They are, of course, without utilities, so without power, water, etc. Restaurants were not open. Once again, the community showed up. Everyone that had a food truck or a food trailer from surrounding areas, they were there feeding the community, feeding the relief workers. It was, again, all hands on deck. That was a beautiful sight. As it's always been said, you have to find the silver lining in everything. That was the true silver lining, was seeing people pull together and just try and make things come back to being as normal as possible. For all the devastation, the loss of life, etc. People were there. People were providing the best that they could. We left Burnsville, North Carolina. We dropped down to Asheville, North Carolina. Same thing. You saw the efforts. You saw tons and tons of people that were lined up to provide aid. One thing that we thought was possibly a pickup area of people getting supplies turned out to be a extremely long line. It was an extremely big area, and tons of people were just lined up to provide paperwork, to volunteer, to be connected with the right areas that they would probably be assigned to. So again, it was a great sight to see. Again, I just want to let people know what we did was what we did. It probably was a crumb in a barrel of what could be done by a lot of us collectively. And this video is basically just to give factual information on what we saw this past Saturday. We had looked at social media, we looked at TikTok, we looked at a very, I'd say various videos that gave, again, information that wasn't too accurate. I'm not bashing what was put out there, because we did not have an opportunity to visit all areas, but the areas that we did visit, again, sharing what we saw, support and relief is on site. I definitely want to give a shout out to Spruce Pond to Mitchell County Law Enforcement, EMS, the entire team there. Burnsville, North Carolina, Yancey County, Asheville, Buncombe County, local law enforcement, both state, federal, EMS, fire, everyone was on board. Shout out to the North Carolina Highway Patrol. They were escorting cement trucks. They were the priority in a lot of the high congested traffic areas. They were doing bridge maintenance in conjunction with DOT. So shout out to North Carolina DOT for all of their efforts. They were adding more concrete supports to bridges that had taken on a good hit from the raging water and had potentially jeopardized the integrity of the bridges. So they were reinforcing bridges while still allowing traffic to pass through. So amazing efforts there. For all the workers that were just doing what they could, concrete truck drivers, all the dump truck drivers, you know, for all the guys that were pulling gears and getting rock up the hill for this particular effort. Man, we really appreciate you. Definitely, again, the L&L Furniture for providing a drop-off area that was dead center of Spruce Pine and helping the community. The Roses Discount Store in Burnsville, North Carolina, again, had a huge relief spot right in the center of the parking lot. The entire parking lot is just full of tents and supplies. Alltech Inc. in Burnsville, North Carolina was another relief spot, drop-off area. Everybody is doing everything they can to provide aid. As we travel through Spruce Pine and Burnsville, everywhere you go in most communities, there are supplies alongside of the road. So you don't necessarily have to make it to a relief spot. You can get supplies in any area just about. And it's just tons of good Samaritans that's doing everything that they can to help out. I think one of the most humbling things that my wife and I witnessed as we were coming into Spruce Pine was we saw a husband and wife couple standing on a broken road with a couple 5-gallon buckets with string tied to the handles. They were dropping it down in a stream to get water to possibly flush toilets or maybe use for whatever purposes that they needed. And I say that to say there's so many things that we take for granted on a normal day. And in moments like this, I think is really, really a dire need that we take that into consideration and do something to help others that have been stripped of having this convenience. There are a lot of people I know that are not in a position to just load up a truck or trailer, car, etc., and go to these areas that have been devastated. But if you do have a local relief area, I would say do your due diligence, check those locations. Unfortunately, there are people that will try and scam in everything. Find a legitimate relief site or relief location and just make a donation in any manner that you possibly can. Lastly, I definitely want to give a huge shout out to CG in Spruce Pine with the Baptist men. She was at a church. She gave us a lot of information. Some of the men there were the ones who really gave specific directions and details on what to expect and navigating to some of those areas. So we really appreciate y'all. And I guess I'll cap this off with just highlighting a few things that were asked specifically of us to bring that they are in need of. Blankets, towels, flashlights, socks, paper towels, bleach, any cleaning supplies, water, Gatorade. They had a specific request for soft drinks. They're drinking a lot of water, a lot of Gatorade, electrolytes, etc. They wanted some caffeine, so they asked for sodas, applesauce packs, and especially really any snack that can be a grab and go for people to just stay on the move. Shout out to all the guys and gals that have ATVs and side-by-sides that are working joint efforts with FEMA, North Carolina Highway Patrol, and local authorities to reach those areas that are impacted that cannot be reached by vehicle. we saw so many ATVs and side-by-sides going up and down the mountain in all areas to help out. Again, this is a huge effort. I really appreciate everybody and all that I've seen going on while we were there. Aside that, you know, we'll be making some more content, hopefully giving some more updates. My one ask is, don't let this surge of support just be at the onset of this disaster. Want to make sure that these people are still getting the same resources and support a month after, 6 months after. This is going to be a long recovery effort, and it's going to take everybody. So again, definitely appreciate just one, watching the video, two, if you can, just do what you can when you can. Other than that, definitely appreciate everything. Appreciate the support. Appreciate this platform. Subscribe if you choose to, like if you choose to, but if nothing more, just take some of the message and try and spread it and challenge someone to help out. North Carolina is definitely in need, and it's going to take everybody to get back on track and get people back in good place. I love my state. North Carolina is my home, so I'm going to do everything I can, and I appreciate all of you. So, NC Strong. Love y'all.